Welcome to Up Close and in Focus, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes with production and marketing trailblazers of the music and film industry. Are you ready to be empowered and pursue your own passion?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Up Close and Focus. I am your host today right here, and I have some exciting information for you. I have a wonderful songwriter that you're gonna love. He's written so many huge hits, and we're gonna do something special for you today. Y'all give it up for the one and only Percy Bady.
What's up, man? What's up, Kerry?
You got
How
it,
you
man.
doing, man? Y'all, stop. Stop it. Okay, all right. What's up, my man?
Man, I'm just excited to be here with you. Man, this has been a long time, and I'm very excited about, just get right into it, about what you're doing for the Love Mountain soundtrack. The movie was produced by up-and-coming producer. Y'all gonna know his name. It's Lee Shelton.
Yes, sir.
And we're excited about that. So when you were commissioned to do the song for the soundtrack, tell me how that process went.
Well, you know, it's Kerry, you know, one of the good things about being the kind of songwriter that I am is, man, you know, I like context, you know, and there's already a story there with Love Mountain.
Yes.
You know, and that story, you know, it's about the power of love, you know, and love being strong. And so for me, it wasn't very challenging to be able to conceive something, man, that would definitely fit the story, the Love Mountain story, man.
Yeah, well, I like the writer of the movie, and we're gonna get him on the show at some point. You know, in the time that we're living in today, I'm really excited about bringing back Black love, or just bringing back love, because it seems like we live in a society where, you know, hate is conquering all when love should be conquering all. So the song that you wrote, it said something very simple. It just says, "Love never dies."
Love never dies, Kerry. It doesn't. You know, it's funny because people will forget your name. You know, they'll forget the songs you wrote. They'll forget, you know, that you may have went out and hung out before. But man, when you love on them, they never forget that.
Yeah.
They'll never forget the love, how you made them feel, man. And so you're right, man. We're in a time, man, where love it seems to have no value like it used to.
Right. Ain't that weird?
Yeah, it's really crazy, right?
Yeah, I was watching something on television, and I mean, a person was literally got shot, was getting killed. And instead of the people calling 911 or going to see if they could help that individual, they were videotaping it for social media. I'm like, where are we going with this,
is
bro?
where the world is, man. It's where the world, we would much rather, you know, try to figure out a way to take advantage of somebody else's misfortune. When, you know, in the day and time you and I grew up, man, that would never be.
Yeah.
You know, that's like running to a car accident and making sure the car is okay.
Right? We got to do something, man. That's why this movie Love Mountain, I'm so excited about it, because it really talks about overcoming situations in life. You know, the movie just takes us from one emotion to the next, takes us out of the valley on top of the mountain. And man, I'm just so excited about the single that you've produced. it's just awesome. And did you write it out first, or did you play
Man,
it first? I mean,
man,
tell me more about it.
those kind of songs for me, man, are special because um, for me, I sometimes I'll hear a melody. Other times I'll see a lyric or something, or I'll write a lyric. But this whole thing was a download. God just like downloaded this whole thing to me, man. Uh, because there's a portion of the song that pulls from the scripture that says, "Love bears all things, hopes all things, believes all things, endures all things." You know, that's the power of love. Love is love literally, should bear all things, believe all things, hope all things, endure. I mean, again, this time we in, we're not seeing that. We're not
No.
experiencing. We're not experiencing that no more, man. And so, the song is a reminder, man, to kind of let's put the focus back where it needs to be, man. On, the love. We may disagree,
Mm-hmm.
but guess what? I gotta love you.
Yes.
I'm supposed to love you.
Yes.
So if you're caught in a misfortune where you need assistance, I'm not coming to you running with a phone so I can film your misfortune. I'm coming to say, hey, how can I help you? Because love
Conquer
should
all.
conquer all,
To
bro.
really conquer all, man. So, want to just talk a little bit about let the people, let everybody know kind of your credentials a little bit. You've been writing for a long time, and I would just like you to talk to us about some of the hit songs, some of the many hit songs that you have written.
Well, man, I got my start when I was 16, Kerry.
16.
16 years old. 16 years old, I wrote a song at 16.
Well, what made you write your song at 16? Well, how
I'm
did that
glad you
happen?
asked.
Okay.
So I was outside. I had four brothers, one sister, and me and my brothers and I, we were outside playing basketball in front of the house, man. And I get a call. My dad called me. Your parents call your name. You could recognize that in a bunch of noise.
Right,
They
right.
call your name, and man, I come in the house and I go in and I hear my mother in the background. She's crying, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And my dad he said, "Hey man, I just need to talk to you because I don't want you to get blindsided, and I just wanted to let you know I'm not your real father. I adopted you at birth."
Hmm.
At 16, that's what I got.
Wow.
I'm outside playing basketball with my brothers, bro, a few minutes before, right? And
Wow.
I get hit with this. But what transpired after was my coping mechanism, man, for challenges and all of that has always been music. It's been a song of music.
Mm-hmm.
And so, man, after I heard that, man, I went and sat down and wrote a song that's been recorded over and over again by a few different people. But my first major hit was "There's No Way."
There's no way.
Yep, Milton
Wow.
Brunson, Thompson Community Singers, Ricky Dillard obviously
Wow.
made it very popular as well. And it's actually a big TikTok thing now.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Wow. And that happened when you were
When
16.
I was 16 years old, brother.
Growing up where? Where did you
In
grow
the
up?
city of Chicago, West Side.
West side of Chicago.
West Side of Chicago, bro.
16 years old. Your father that raised you all your life. You loved him.
Loved him.
Great
Yep.
dad.
All I knew. Great man. Showed me what it means to be a man too, but did not know, man. At 16, the last thing you're thinking about is, man, this somebody else is your daddy.
Right.
At 16,
Wow.
no, I ain't thinking. So I don't even know if I had the faculty to really even kind of process and deal with that at the time.
How about your biological father? Was he in your life?
No, not at all, man. I met him one time, and he claimed he wanted to have a relationship, but never transpired, man. What's so unfortunate is that although my mother married the man who adopted me, she wasn't in love with him. She loved my dad. She loved the man that fathered me. And but she was a young single female about to birth a baby and needed,
Right.
security.
Well, she probably made the right decision.
Oh, of
because
course.
look at who you
right,
are
that's
today.
right.
He was a man who showed you how to be a man, how
That's
to
right.
become a man.
That's right. Who showed me, man, and funny because he up until he passed away a couple years ago, man, he didn't really believe in music. He was like,
Hardworking guy.
he was that
Okay.
blue collar. He gonna go in and get the work done. He gonna use his hands. It come from the South. Came to Chicago with an 8th grade education, taught himself, how to move around, how to get things done, and so he went to work. That's what he did, and so much respect for that. I got a lot of respect.
Yes, yes. And a lot of times in these days, especially now with the younger generation, we kind of don't buy into that philosophy anymore of just cultivating a skill, and that's kind of what this show is about too. We're not just about music. We're really talking about current events and things that's happening in the world. And man, I'm a little behooved right now with so much technology going on, and we don't really know. We don't know which way to go right now. We don't know where it is right now in the climate that we're living in. But I do know that it's nothing wrong with a hardworking a person been on their job for quite some time and just taking care of their family. I want to give it up to your pops for
Yes,
that.
sir.
Yeah,
Much respect.
that was a good man. Hey, look, you know what? I want to hear some of these songs that you've written.
Okay.
I want to hear them, and I don't want you to just tell me about them. Y'all, we'll be right back here, up close and in focus with Percy Bady, and I think I'm gonna see if I can get him to do something live for us on the piano. All right, we'll be.
Never die. Love never dies. Love never dies. So I was 16 years old when I wrote this song. There is no way I can live without you. There is no way I can go on. Burdens are too much for me to bear. They're too much for me to bear. There is no way I can live without you. As I lay on the table the first day I was treated, the second day when I was treated for prostate cancer, the Holy Spirit sang to me this song that I wrote, man, not long after my mom passed away. So you think that you can't make it through, and you feel like all of your hope is gone. Just remember, God cares for you, and He knows just what's best for you. He cares for you. Got a chance to work with Marvin Sapp. I'm sure you guys remember this song. This is not the time for giving up. This is not the place where you should be. No, it isn't, no. Not the time nor the place to lie in defeat. You gotta press on. You gotta move on. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. It's a part of life everyone goes through. Sometimes there's joy and sometimes there's pain. But don't you be deceived. It's a part of His plan. This is not the time, not the time, not the place. Just believe, keep the faith. Gotta learn how to wait, keep holding on. Yolanda Adams, I got a chance to work with her. Did a song for the Rosa Parks tribute record, and it was just simply, yet still I rise high above the clouds, never to give in against all odds. Yet still I rise high above the clouds. At times I feel low, yet still I rise. Detroit, Michigan. There's a family everybody's familiar with, but I got a chance to work with the duo, and this song went like, life was bitter to the core. There was nothing to live for until love came. Even second times around, happiness cannot be found until love came. I was left all alone. The fault was my own. Tears covered me, and I needed relief. I've been searching for the key to life's door. I was brought to my knees. I was led to believe His love told me. Love said not so. Even when the odds against me, love told me. Love said not so. The Winans, I got a chance to work with them as well, and I'll just do a little bit. Love has no color. You're my brother. Love shows no evil to no people. Yeah. Man, I'm blessing myself right now. Oh, man. I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment, with my wife, 2 kids, and 2 nieces. After all the work I had done, and man, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, man, God, how am I here? Why? How did I get here? How did I get to this place I'm in, man? And it was just a conversation between he and I. This song was never meant to be heard by anybody. But man, Smokey Norfolk called me one day and said, man, I'm looking for songs for my new record. And man, can you send me something? I sent him songs. And he listened to them and he called back. He said, man, these songs are cool, but not really what I'm looking for. I said, well, I got this one song, but it's not really meant to be heard. I didn't write it for nobody else. This was personal. And he said, man, that's the song I want to hear. And the song went like this. Sometimes I feel like giving up. Seems like my best just ain't good enough. Lord, if you hear me, I'm calling you. Do you see, do you care all about what I'm going through? And that's when he said, one more day, one more step. I'm preparing you for myself. And when you can't hear my voice, please trust my plan. I'm the Lord I see, and yes, I understand. Whew. Yeah. But sometimes I feel like I'm all alone, just like a stranger so far from home. Seems like I've done all that I can do. Please, Lord, give me strength. I'm just trying to make it through. One more day, one more step. I'm preparing you for myself. When you can't hear my voice, please trust my plan. I'm the Lord I see, and yes, I understand. I think I'm gonna stop it here, y'all. Getting a little emotional. So I got a chance to work with this guy, and everybody knew him as R. Kelly. I knew him as Robert, because our relationship was a lot different than the superstardom stuff. And man, he called me down to the hotel lobby, and he was like, man, I got this idea for a song, and I just got, I used to think, for song, but now I know the meaning of true love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. That's all he had. I sat down and I messed with that for a little bit, and I came up with, if I could see it, then I could be it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. If I just spread my wings, I can fly. I believe I can fly. I can fly.
Wow, Percy, man, I did not know you wrote those many songs for those many people
Yeah.
and those many hits, man. And tell me about I Believe I Can Fly, bro. That's
Major, right?
serious.
Major. Well, man, that was it was 1996, 97. We were ending up I was R. Kelly's musical director.
Okay, okay.
Um,
You and your brother
yeah,
played too.
my brother played drums, Ray
That's
played
Ray.
drums,
Ray
right?
Beatty played
Yep,
drums.
Ray played drums and I was the musical director and so we were in Detroit finishing up the first leg and man, I had gone to bed, man. I was up in my room in the hotel, man. I get a phone call. Hey, you sleep? Yeah, I'm asleep. Yeah, I'm asleep, man. It's about 3 in the morning. It's like, yeah, I'm asleep.
You know what up there doing what
Right.
you do.
Right.
All right, we're gonna leave that alone. All right.
Yeah, yeah. But he's like, man, I'm down in the lobby, man. They got a piano, man. I'm trying to finish up this song, man, and I'm stuck. I need your help. I was like, all right, I'll come down. So I go down to the piano, man. And what's crazy is it's so vivid because I remember this like it was yesterday. Over in the corner was Biggie,
What?
Notorious B.I.G. because he was on our tour.
Oh
He
my.
opened. He opened for us. He was on our tour.
Oh, that's some historical stuff right
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, he was in the corner over there with a big stogie, talking with some friends, kicking it, whatever. We sit down at the piano, man. Matter of fact, a white baby grand.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
okay.
We sit down at the piano, and he said, "Man, and Rob could play just enough to get his ideas, just enough to get his idea out." And he was playing what he had, man, and he was stuck. So I sat down, man, and I probably played around with what he had for about maybe 5, 10 minutes, and then I came up with the bridge section. If I can see it, and I can be it.
It's my
If
favorite
I just
part.
believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. Yeah, yeah, that was all, man, and it was fluent, just like that. It just flowed. It wasn't like this long thing, man. We probably finished the song less than 30 minutes.
Wow. Wow.
It just happened.
Wow.
It just happened, man.
Say, look, I was going to talk to you about. I know you kind of had a season in your life where you was on hold for a minute, some health issues. But before I get to that, I want to talk a little bit about, after 25, 30 years in the industry, this is something a lot of people are talking about, but I don't know if they're really talking about it. What do you feel about the music industry? You got to look at it. Me and you, we done went from 8-track tapes to cassette tapes to vinyl to CD, and now we're living in this digital world. So we have that going on, and then we have all this plethora of information that's crowding us on social media about publishing, writing, owning masters, and these types of things. So when you started writing for people, I mean, how did the industry treat you when you
Man,
went
when I
out?
first started, Kerry, I was taken advantage of.
Say that again.
When I first started, I was taken advantage of.
Oh, okay.
And for me, um, so that first record that I did with Reverend Milton Brunson, man, we rehearsed for like 8 weeks before the recording. They came in the night of the session with these papers saying, y'all need to sign these papers or we can't include y'all song. Now I would say the label, I should say, but
Okay.
I'm gonna be nice.
Well, now we're up close and in focus over here. It ain't nothing nice about me. I'm always just gonna be real.
Well,
100.
I would
That's
say
what this show is about.
Christian label, and didn't give us the opportunity to get attorneys to review, didn't advise us to get an attorney to review anything. And I was young, impressionable, excited.
Right.
I'm getting ready to have my music recorded, right?
Right.
And so, um, That's what taught me the publishing game.
Mm,
That's what woke me up to like do my homework.
right.
Was understanding that, and I'm in the process now, man, of like getting that stuff back.
Yeah, and it's a difficult task, and these days you got to look at all of the different things that goes on in the music industry. It's a difficult task to get back, your rights for your songs that you have written. But the beautiful thing is why it's definitely worth it to try to move in that direction, because catalog now with the digital age is pretty much how one
Yeah,
really benefit in
yeah,
this industry.
yeah. Then it's legacy for me, man. I get to pass it down to my kids and my
Yes.
kids' kids.
Yeah, I usually call the new digital content music and film and all that stuff now. I call it the new real estate that creates generational wealth. We used to live in a time back in the day. It was a great oil rush. It was a great gold rush. Now I look at life as it's the great digital content rush. So we live it in this time. So we do need to continue to compile as much digital content that we have, and get it distributed out there, and it creates generational wealth for our family. And so I can understand why you want to look into getting some of that rights back.
Oh yeah.
I can understand you being a young man and having an opportunity to make your first move in the music business. So don't beat yourself up too much now, because sometimes in this game we have to make unpopular decisions. But it seems like you've came out of that.
Yep, came out of it. You learn. I think, I don't count it as a loss. Some people was like, man, you were stupid. You should have did blah blah blah. But for me, man, we don't lose, we learn.
Yes.
We don't lose, we learn. They got what they got for now. But we learned, and we're gonna take care of what we need to take care of, and then we're gonna assure ourselves that we teach the next generation, so they don't go through some of these things.
Right.
Now there will be times where things will have to, things will be a little different. They won't be the way you exactly want them, but that's just called negotiating. That's just called.
And that's the bottom line. Anything that you do, you do it. You can negotiate it, and as long as it's a win-win situation,
Yep.
I think in life everybody, should be happy. As long as you're happy with what you're dealing with, and there is so much out here now with the industry. It changes like it used to change every year. Now it's changing every other day on how to win out here in this whole content space. It's changing daily.
Yeah, it is changing daily, Kerry, but the one thing that ain't changing is the fact you gotta have something. You gotta have something worth something.
Right. I like that. I like that.
You gotta have something worth something.
You gotta have something that you can make turn into something.
That's it. That's it. At the end of the day, man, because ain't nobody coming to a party with no music.
Right. Right.
They want to hear music.
Exactly.
So you just gotta have something, and then what you don't know, you surround yourself with people who do know. Just keep you informed so you can make intelligent decisions about your career and your life as you move ahead.
Right. We're talking about bringing back love, bringing back the concept of love, giving it more exposure. You have how many kids you have?
Man, I have 3 kids.
Okay. How is it parenting? You like you said, your stepfather, well, he's actually your real father. You asked me. He raised you, and what do you see difference with the generations now?
Wow. Yeah. That's a drastic difference. It's a drastic difference. Man, the generation today, they want it now. They don't want to work for it. They don't want it. They want it. Hey, give it to me now. They already know everything. You know, we didn't have social media.
Right. Or
We didn't.
microwaves.
Right, the microwave. We didn't have none of all this stuff. You want to warm your food up, you got to go put it in the oven or put it in a pot.
And that usually take about 30, 40 minutes.
It's like, come on,
10-second stuff is killing us, I
it's
think.
killing us, man. But I got two girls and one boy,
Mm-hmm.
and the girls haven't given me any problems. My son ain't really he ain't gave me no problem other than the fact that he know everything.
Right, right,
You
right.
can't tell him nothing. They know it all, but he's a smart kid. He's made some intelligent decisions for himself. But at the same time, man, some of the things he's had to learn the hard way.
Right.
Although his dad already said XYZ, this, blase, 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 but they just got to experience. Some things I'm learning, you're going to have to let them experience it.
Yeah, I think people, kids, people, sometimes we don't realize that history repeats itself.
That's right.
It repeats itself in a different format, but it's basically the same thing. It's already been done before. It's already been done. It's already been said. And a lot of times I think the generation that we live in, it's moving so fast and, everything is just really, really quick. And they don't understand that it's a process. Even with the young artists, there's a process with building your career. So a lot of people like to not go through the process.
Avoid it, man, and you can't win without going through the process. You can't, because here's the thing, Kerry, if you and I had been rewarded with some of the things we've got now without going through it, we wouldn't be able to keep it.
True.
Because we have nothing that tells us it's valuable.
True. And that's it. And when you say things about things of value, and let's just talk about the music. The music. And I know you're a producer, songwriter, and even on my side, I'm the marketer, distributor, and it takes both. And a lot of times, and I think we alluded on this earlier about, hey, anything could be negotiated.
That's right.
So a lot of people have to realize that there's a lot of people with a lot of music, right, over here. But that music needs someone to bring value.
That's right.
To it, and that's when you understand partnering with a record label or partnering any type of partnership. The person, because sometimes you can't do it all as a creative. You're creative.
That's right.
So you're creative. You can't do it all, and you need that person that I call it that salesperson. We say we're marketers and we're this, but we're basically salespeople. So that's it. You create the product and you find somebody like myself or somebody to sell the product, and then you work on a negotiation of how that's monetization is distributed.
Right. You figure out something that's mutually beneficial to both parties.
Yeah.
I never have a problem, man, with mutually beneficial relationships, man, when it makes sense. I think the most important thing is that if you're doing the work and I'm doing the work, we working together towards something, then we deserve to sit down and say, let's split what we got.
There you go. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair, man. And I don't know that every artist understands that totally, because it's one thing to say I'm a creative and I bring the creative side. But like you said, but if you don't understand the sales side, if you don't understand the marketing side, the side that puts it in front of people's faces and puts it in their ears, if you don't understand that side of it, then all you have is just that gift. Right. That's all you got is that gift. So you got to find somebody who can say, hey, let's partner up and do this. Because I think that's the real, the real, very, I would say, an asset for me is a partner. Not a slave, not a slave master. I need a partner.
Right.
I don't need somebody who's going to dictate. You're gonna tell me what music to do, how to do it, and then you're gonna, no, no, no. Or you're gonna take all of the proceeds. No, no, no. Let's sit down together and let's negotiate what's fair, because I think it's fair. If you work and do what you do, it's fair for you to get a portion. It's
Yeah,
fair.
and I think it's a great thing. Just listening at all of your songs, man. You're not just writing quick and easy songs. You're writing anthems.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think we're missing too.
Yeah.
We're missing people that's really thinking about what they're writing and what they're producing, and writing songs that can last from generation to generation to generation.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, I believe I Can Fly.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I do believe the record that you wrote for Love Mountain movie.
Yep. Love never
Yeah,
dies. Yes,
Love
sir.
Never Dies.
I think it ain't gonna die.
That Love Never Die ain't gonna die.
No.
You know, so if
Yeah.
those of you that haven't heard it yet, y'all definitely need to go download Love Never Dies off the Love Mountain soundtrack, because it will definitely bless your soul, and you'll see and hear what I'm talking about and why I'm talking to this extraordinary songwriter and producer, Percy Bady. The guy is amazing, and I want you guys to, how do they reach out to you on social media?
Man, I'm on Instagram at the official Percy Bady. I'm on Facebook, Percy Bady, and then I'm also on Twitter, X, as Bady Percy. So
Okay.
yeah, you can get at me that way.
So let me ask you something before we go. What would you say to an up and coming artist? Maybe you could talk a little bit about the different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Songwriter, producing, and artistry. Those are all three different parts. And
Right.
working with artists, and as a songwriter, the artists themselves not valuing what you bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you work on part of their song. Maybe you
Yeah.
want to go over that a little bit.
Well, Kerry, because of the day and age that we're in now, man, there's so much information available to artists, songwriters, and producers, man, via social media, YouTube, all this. But I didn't have that growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And, my mentors were from afar. I studied Quincy Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I studied Quincy so much, man, at the library till I said I was going to make myself. I'm going to be the Quincy Jones of gospel music.
Mm.
I'm going to be the Quincy Jones David Foster, because David Foster was another guy that I was studying. I was studying David Foster, Maurice White from Earth, Wind, and Fire, Andre Crouch, Bill Maxwell, who produced all the Andre, the Winans, Crystal Murden, Danabelle Hall, Howard Smith. Bill later went on to do TV with Amen, Say Amen, and Martin Lawrence, and all Jamie Foxx, and all this stuff. And these were the people I studied from afar, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I studied them because they were doing great work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're going to study somebody, study somebody who's doing great work. Don't study somebody who somebody tells you should follow them or check them out because, they're good. Good is the enemy of great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be great. I didn't just want to be good, So I studied people who were great. And what I learned along the way, man, is you have to define who you are for yourself first.
Right, right.
Because if you don't, somebody else will. And then you end up being somebody who's trying to please everybody. And guess what? You wind up not being pleased yourself because you didn't define who you were.
Yeah.
And whether that's an artist, you as an artist, that's whether you as a songwriter, you as a producer. For me, I started as a musician first. That was the first thing I started as. From musician, I went to a songwriter. From songwriter, I went to a producer. From producer, I went to an artist. I don't even call myself an artist. But
if you have to be one,
you're gonna
be it.
I'm gonna be it. I'll do it. And in this season of my life, that's what the pull is for me. Right now, I'm finding more success and finding more acceptance, man, in being able to go out now and sing these songs that I created for others, as well as the songs I created for myself. And
So
it's crazy.
history is coming back.
History is
So the
coming.
stuff that you catalog,
Mm-hmm.
you're now feeling confident in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
sing some of the songs that you wrote for other people, and you're finding out now that the audience are
That's
reappreciating
man,
those.
they are loving it. And the thing is that I think we have to remember, man, we gotta respect the power of a great song.
Yeah.
Man, somebody sing something, man, like Zacardi with that.
Lord,
Man,
do it for me.
Lord, do it.
Be around
Man, you
forever.
can't. That's gonna be here. That's gonna be here, bro.
Yeah.
You cannot discount the power of a song, man. And so, songs are the lifeline of our industry. Let's face it, radio ain't got nothing to play. Musicians ain't got nothing to play. Singers ain't got nothing to sing. And record labels ain't got nothing to sell without a song.
Without a song.
You gotta have a song, man. So if I encourage anybody to do anything, it's to learn to write a song, man. Learn how to study the greats, study people who came before. You know who came before you. I know who came before me
Right.
because I studied them, and I wanted to. Not only did I want to emulate, man, but man, I wanted to meet some of the greats. I wanted to, shake their hand, tell them how they inspired me. I got a chance to go to Andre's house. I got a chance to sit with him and break bread with him. He cooked dinner for us. You know, I mean, I got a chance to sit with him. I met Quincy Jones.
Wow.
I met David Foster. Got invited to a private party that he was given to hear him play and sing some of his songs. And so the Lord has blessed me in such a way, Kerry, that now, as I'm focusing, as I'm moving ahead now, the whole industry is based on a song. Imagine watching a TV commercial.
Watching TV and watching commercials and no movies?
No music.
No movies, no music, no nothing.
Movies, movie, no music. It just don't work. The world we the birds sing, Kerry.
And I wake up every morning and listen to them out in the backyard.
Yep. See that? The birds sing, man. So I just think it's important to understand that and to also value that and to get back. We said earlier, we need to get back to songs that have substance.
Yeah.
Something that's going to speak today and tomorrow.
I love that.
Not just today.
Speaking of that, I noticed you took about 5 or 6 year break. You had some health challenges. Can you talk about? Basically, we almost lost you. And
well, yeah, man. So roughly about 4 or 5 years ago, man, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And so, as I look back, man, my mom died at 44 years old from breast cancer. Her mom died at 45 from breast cancer. So I lived the first 44 years of my life, man, just wondering if I would see 45.
Right.
So when I made it to 45, man, I had a party. I was like, oh man, we good, man. But then 4 or 5 years ago, I got hit with prostate cancer out of nowhere. Just went in for a regular checkup.
Wow.
Regular checkup, and PSA was high, and they said, we need you to come back in and retest. And I was like, yeah, I want you to, because this can't be.
Right.
Man, went back in, and my PSA was higher when I went back in. And they was like, we're going to have to do a biopsy. We're going to have to, do some tests. Well, ended up, long story short, they ended up saying I had prostate cancer. And so the doctor said, here are recommended ways to treat it, And for me, I was a little distraught because I spent my whole life, writing music for God and trying to encourage people and positive and man and all of this. And, how you going to allow this to happen to me? And man, the first day I went in for treatment, I had to do 28 straight days of double radiation.
Oh, wow.
Double radiation, where the machine go around one time, then it's going to come back around, right? And so, and on top of that, I had to do steroids and And there's a couple shots that they give you, which puts your testosterone on pause because cancer cells thrive off of testosterone,
Mm.
and in women, estrogen. And
Wow.
so, man, first day I laid on the table, and they have to make these molds for your legs and your feet. They have to make them, and then they strap you down, right?
Wow.
You lay on this steel table, man, and I ain't like nothing about it because I've hated hospitals all my life,
Mm-hmm.
all my life. Man, I'm laying there, and as I'm laying there, I'm like, God, you got to be kidding me. Like, for real? For prostate cancer? Me? Really? Man, laid on the table, and they started up the machine. Now, they had told me, now, you got to stay still because we're treating a specific area. Man, they started the machine, and I jumped. And they said, okay, Mr. Bady. They talk to you over the speaker. They say, okay, Mr. Bady, we have to come back in. We got to reset you. You got to stay still. You can't move. On top of the fact that you got to drink enough water to expand your bladder
Wow.
away from your prostate, because they're treating just that area. They don't want to touch anything else. So I had to learn how to drink enough water before I got to the hospital for treatment so that my bladder would be expanded. Now you got to keep that. You can't go to the bathroom.
Oh my.
You,
Oh my. Oh my.
you got to hold on to that.
All right.
So I had to learn that, man. But that first day, bro, when that machine went off and it started me, I told the Lord, I said, nah, I don't like this. I don't.
Right.
Man, the next day I went back, and when the machine started, I couldn't hear it no more.
Mm. God put you in that place.
God put me in a place, man, where I could not hear the machine. He started singing over me. And he started singing some of the songs that I wrote to encourage other people
Mm.
who were going through.
Self-meditation. Self-medication.
Yes, self-medication.
The Lord brought you.
The Lord brought it back to my remembrance. And so the Holy Spirit was like, now that I got your attention, you have the ability to do something not many others can do. You create out of tragedy. You create out of being challenged. You create out of negative situations. You have learned you have mastered being able to create. So what you gonna do with this? This ain't about you. It happened to you.
But it ain't about you.
But it ain't even about you. It's about how God can get the glory out of your gift from this.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna write some music that's gonna encourage people who are gonna go through this, who are going through and who will gonna go through it. Will go through it. You're gonna write a soundtrack for them.
Amen.
And so, man, day after day, I will start hearing new melodies, new songs. And so I put together this EP, and it's called 28 Days.
Mm.
And it represents my 28 days of double radiation, man.
Wow.
And these songs, man, are meant to help people walk through that season of their life when it ain't gotta be prostate cancer.
Right,
man.
right.
It could be something else.
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about, man. It's all about writing the songs that's touching the millions of people. And what I like about today's society is on social media. Sometimes I just go and scroll down and see and read the comments on songs that we have with 30, 40, 50 million views on it. And just read the comments that people that you don't even know,
That's
how
right.
you're touching people's lives.
That's
a lot
right.
of times we don't, we do stuff, we work hard to get these songs played, and we don't know what they're ministering, how they're touching people in other countries, just all over the world, man. And so that's why I keep doing what I'm doing.
That's right.
That's why I keep moving like I move.
That's right.
And that's why I've connected with people such as yourself, man. And by the way, you're looking good. You're losing lots of weight, man.
Yes, sir.
I heard you running around the neighborhood. You're doing all that needs to be done.
So crazy. I landed in the hospital 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago almost. Man, they thought I had congestive heart failure. Thought I had blood clots in my legs. It was crazy, man. It was the most craziest thing because my lower extremities, my legs and my feet had swelled up.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of nowhere, just boom. Man, took me in. They ran all these tests. Man, came back negative. No heart failure, no blood clots. No, they just said I had was retaining water, lymphedema, retaining water, and had a little. My cholesterol was a little high, so I needed to change my diet.
Okay.
So I changed my diet, and haven't had any fried foods, no red meat,
Right.
eating low sodium, low fat, and walking, doing a
Walking.
bunch of walking, man.
Yeah.
And the weight is coming off, feeling better. But more importantly, man, I want to finish what I know I'm here to do.
Right.
I want to complete my task.
Well, we're definitely doing it with the Love Mountain soundtrack. Love Never Dies. That's one song that's going to touch people hard for decades and decades to come. But what I would like to say to everybody out that's listening to us, definitely go and get your, especially the black men,
Go get your PSA check, man. It's the prostate cancer is the number 2 killer of African American men. It is the number 2 killer, man. And unfortunately, we don't have to die from this. Early detection is everything.
you're proving that to us.
I'm the proof that you
All
don't
right.
have to die.
So we're going to leave it like this. Up close and in focus with Percy Bady right here, who's giving you the music, the soundtrack to your life, but you got to still be here to listen to the soundtrack of your life. So guys, let's go get that test. What it's called again?
PSA test. Get your blood test. Get your blood. They just test your PSA. Get your PSA, man, and it'll tell you if it's high. Don't be afraid. It don't necessarily mean it's something wrong. It could be anything, man. It could, sometimes people just have enlarged prostates, and it causes their PSA to be high.
All right. Well, we're going to go out of here, and I want to hear a little bit of that I Believe I Can Fly. I want it live. All right?
All right.
Okay. All right. See y'all.
Thanks for listening to Up Close and in Focus. Remember to take action, embrace your passions, and never give up on your dream. Kerry Douglas will see you at the top because it's crowded at the bottom.